Well, today the market was a bit like a Tesla on autopilot,
Oh,
mostly cruising along,
yeah.
but with a couple of unexpected swerves
Mm-hmm.
that definitely got people talking.
Okay, I see that.
And speaking of Tesla,
Yeah.
that was the stock dominating the Wall Street Bets conversation today
Really?
after its earnings call.
Wow.
It was a wild ride with the stock soaring,
Interesting.
despite some skepticism about the actual numbers.
Tesla wasn't the only stock making waves, though.
Oh,
Today's deep dive takes us into the heart of the Wall Street Bets daily discussion thread
okay.
for October 25th, 2024,
Got it.
where we'll sift through the hottest stock mentions and the most upvoted comments.
So let's get into it. What was the overall market mood like today? Was it pure euphoria or was there a hint of caution in the air?
It was a real mix.
Interesting.
You had comments like,
Yeah.
pump pre-market, drop aggressively till 1 p meter, pump into close,
Uh-huh.
and down for a low volume fade up all day, which really captures that push and pull between bullishness and skepticism.
Let's talk Tesla.
Okay?
It seems like everyone and their grandma had something to say about it today.
I bet.
What were the main talking points?
Well, Tesla was definitely the star of the show. There was a lot of buzz about heavy call buying,
Okay.
even with some users questioning the validity of the company's success.
Really?
Some even said it's not a car company, even though 99% of their revenue comes from cars, bro.
It sounds like there were some pretty strong opinions on both sides of the Tesla debate.
Yeah.
Did anyone mention specific price targets or predictions for the stock?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Some users were throwing out price predictions, both positive and negative.
Mhm.
There was one user who said 250 EOW,
Uh-huh.
but I also saw another user saying RIP Bears, but TSLA 150 EOW.
So a lot of uncertainty still swirling around Tesla.
Definitely.
But it wasn't all about Elon and his electric cars, right?
No, not at all.
What other stocks were generating buzz on Wall Street Bets today?
Let me see. Aside from Tesla, meme stocks continued to hold their own in the spotlight.
Interesting.
Digital World Acquisition Corp,
Uh-huh.
DWAC,
Right.
the SPAC tied to Donald Trump,
Okay.
saw a notable surge in price.
And what were people saying about that?
Well, one user commented,
Yeah.
DJT increasing 177% in the month before the election is certainly natural and based on its clear potential of 6-digit revenue.
That's Wall Street Bets for you.
Yeah.
Always finding a way to inject humor,
Um,
even when discussing potentially risky investments.
right.
Were there any other companies besides Tesla and DWC that were being heavily discussed?
Yeah, Nvidia.
Okay.
NVDA was also a major point of discussion,
Uh-huh.
with a high level of confidence from users regarding its future prospects.
It's interesting.
We saw comments like,
Yeah.
NVDA is the leader of this whole market,
Ah.
and I trust NVDA calls more than SPY calls right now.
It seems that a lot of users are feeling very bullish on Nvidia.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It's interesting to see that even with all the talk of a potential market crash,
Right.
there's still strong confidence in certain tech giants like Nvidia.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of crashes,
Yeah.
was that fear palpable in the discussions today?
Definitely, yeah.
Interesting.
The anxieties surrounding a potential market crash were pretty evident.
And how is that manifesting in the comments?
Well, some users were drawing parallels to past crashes with comments like, this is worse than 2008 and 2021, all over again, rip market 2025. Another user said, let's all overpay in our 401k buy-in today,
Okay.
which captures the feeling that the market might be artificially inflated right now.
So a mixed bag of emotions today.
Yeah.
From Tesla's wild ride to the persistent meme stock frenzy
Mm-hmm.
and the underlying fear of a market crash.
Definitely.
But even with all the volatility and uncertainty,
Yeah.
the Wall Street Bets community finds ways to inject humor and camaraderie into their discussions.
I'm curious to see what other nuggets of wisdom or madness we can uncover as we delve deeper into the Wall Street Bets rabbit hole.
Let's do it.
What else caught your eye as you scrolled through the daily thread today?
Well, we can't forget about the other stocks generating buzz,
Okay.
both positive and negative.
Uh-huh.
AST Space Mobile,
Mm-hmm.
ASTS, for example,
Okay.
was hit with the comment, ASTS does 2 rug pulls in a row.
Ouch.
And OKLO, OKLO,
Got it.
seemed to be a classic case of FOMO,
Oh, yeah.
with one user admitting, I bought some OKLO at $22.46, the absolute peak of the YTD graph.
Ouch. That's gotta hurt.
Yeah.
Did anyone mention what might be causing these rug pulls or sudden price drops?
Let me think.
Yeah.
There were a few users mentioning earnings reports,
Yeah.
market manipulation, and even just general market sentiment.
I see.
It's hard to pinpoint a specific cause for every stock's movement,
Yeah, of course.
but the Wall Street Bets community certainly has a lot of theories.
It seems like there's always something to learn,
Always,
or at least be entertained by in the world of Wall Street bets.
for sure.
Were there any other notable stock mentions you want to highlight before we move on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Celsius Holdings,
Mm-hmm.
CELH,
Got it.
was one to watch,
Okay.
with one user anticipating a run before earnings.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was Spirit Airlines.
Yeah.
One user simply asked, who TF is buying Spirit? Jesus, what a mess.
Oh, wow.
Which perfectly encapsulates the confusion surrounding that stock.
Well, it seems like today's Wall Street bets discussion was a microcosm of the market itself, a blend of excitement, uncertainty, and a healthy dose of humor.
Exactly.
Let's dive a bit deeper into some of the recurring themes and sentiments that emerged from today's thread.
Sounds good to me. Let's unpack what's really on the minds of these Wall Street Bets traders and what it might tell us about the market's direction.
Let's get into it.
So we've covered some of the individual stocks that were making waves on Wall Street Bets today, but what about the broader themes and conversations? Were there any underlying sentiments or concerns that stood out to you?
You know, there was this pervasive feeling of being caught in a rigged game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and this sentiment was captured perfectly by one user who said, I buy calls, shit goes down. I buy puts, shit goes up. I buy straddles, shit goes flat.
Oh, wow.
Why does the universe hate me?
It's that feeling of helplessness you get when you think the market is being manipulated by forces beyond your control.
Exactly.
Did you see any specific examples of users pointing to market manipulation?
Yeah, so many users pointed to the NYSE's announcement to be open 22 hours a day as a sign that algorithms will manipulate the market while retail investors are sleeping.
Interesting.
And one user's comment sums it up.
Yeah.
NYSE open 22 hours a day is fucking nuts.
Wow.
GG, y'all. Algo's gonna fuck us up while we sleep.
It's a valid concern, especially in the age of high-frequency trading and algorithmic strategies.
Right.
But were there any voices of dissent? Any users who pushed back on this narrative of a rigged game?
There were a few who argued that algorithms are simply more efficient at processing information, but the dominant sentiment was one of distrust.
Yeah.
And a sense that retail investors are at a disadvantage.
It's interesting how this theme of a rigged game ties into the anxieties about a potential market crash.
Definitely.
It's almost like they're seeing these two things as interconnected,
Yeah,
with the manipulation eventually leading to a collapse.
absolutely. That connection was very apparent in the discussions today.
Okay.
Some users even suggested that the current market rally is being artificially propped up,
Interesting.
with one user pointing out that the market is hitting record highs, despite two presidential candidates campaigning on fixing the economy.
That disconnect between the market's performance and the real-world economic situation is definitely a cause for concern for many.
Yeah, for sure.
Did anyone point to specific data points or indicators that support this idea of a market bubble?
Let's see.
Yeah.
Some users mentioned the SPY hitting a 30 PE ratio, which they saw as a sign of overvaluation. Others pointed to the VIX spiking, even though the market is green,
Wow.
interpreting it as a sign of a harsh winter incoming.
So a lot of mixed signals and a lot of uncertainty about the future.
Definitely.
Did any users offer any insights into how to navigate this potentially treacherous market environment?
Yeah, despite the fears and anxieties, there was also a sense of resilience and a willingness to adapt.
And what did that look like in the comments?
Well, some users advocated for a more cautious approach, suggesting strategies like diversifying portfolios and focusing on long-term investments instead of chasing short-term gains.
It sounds like there's a growing awareness within the Wall Street Bets community.
Yeah.
That there's more to investing than just YOLOing into meme stocks and hoping for the best.
Right.
Was there any discussion about specific long-term investment opportunities?
Yeah, there was some interest in long-term share plays, particularly in the EV and lithium space.
Interesting.
Users were asking about stocks like QuantumScape and Lithium Americas, signaling a shift towards thinking about the future potential of emerging industries.
It's fascinating to see this evolution within Wall Street Bets, from a focus on quick gains and meme-driven trades to a more nuanced understanding of the market and the potential for long-term growth.
It's pretty cool.
This shift in sentiment is perhaps a reflection of the maturing investor base within Wall Street Bets.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They're starting to realize that sustainable profits require more than just luck and hype.
This brings up an interesting point.
Yeah.
Did you notice any discussions about specific trading strategies or approaches beyond just buying and holding?
There's a lot of talk about options trading,
Okay.
with users sharing their strategies and experiences.
Uh-huh.
One user even summarized their approach as buy, panic, sell,
Oh, wow.
which pretty much sums up the emotional roller coaster that is options trading.
That's Wall Street Bets in a nutshell. A blend of humor, risk-taking, and a constant search for the next big win.
Definitely.
But even within this chaotic environment, it
Mm-hmm.
seems like there's a growing appreciation for the importance of having a plan,
Yeah.
even if it's a reckless one.
Absolutely.
Whether it's a simple buy and hold strategy or a complex options play, having some sort of plan is better than blindly throwing money at the market and hoping for the best.
It seems like we're starting to see a more multifaceted picture of the Wall Street Bets community emerge.
Right.
They're not just reckless gamblers.
No.
They're also learning, adapting, and developing more sophisticated approaches to navigating the market.
For sure.
It's a reminder that Wall Street Bets is a constantly evolving community, reflecting the changing dynamics of the market itself.
As we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what other insights we can glean from the Wall Street Bets community.
Okay.
What else did you notice in today's discussions that might help us understand the current market sentiment?
Well, one thing that stood out was the level of engagement and discussion around individual companies and their prospects.
Okay.
You've already touched on Tesla and Nvidia,
Right.
but there were also a number of smaller companies that caught the attention of Wall Street Bets users.
Let's delve into some of those lesser-known companies that sparked conversations today.
Sounds good.
It's always fascinating to see what catches the eye of the Wall Street Bets crowd, as they often have a knack for spotting emerging trends and opportunities. We've talked about the big players like Tesla and Nvidia,
Right.
the fear of a rigged game, and the shift towards long-term thinking.
Yeah.
But what about some of the smaller,
Mm.
lesser-known companies that were making waves on Wall Street Bets today?
Right.
Did you see anything that caught your eye?
Definitely.
Okay.
One company that sparked some interesting conversation was AST Space Mobile.
Okay.
They're building the first space-based cellular broadband network.
Wow.
And while there was some skepticism, with one user commenting, ASTS does 2 rug pulls in a row,
Oh, no.
there was also genuine excitement about the potential of the technology.
It sounds like a high-risk, high-reward kind of play,
Yeah.
which seems to be right up Wall Street Bets' alley.
Right.
Did any users offer specific reasons for their optimism or pessimism about AST Space Mobile?
Some users pointed to the company's recent partnerships
Okay.
and technological advancements as reasons to be bullish.
Hmm?
Others expressed concerns about the execution risks
Yeah.
and the long timeline for profitability.
So a classic case of Wall Street Bets weighing potential and risk with their trademark mix of enthusiasm and skepticism.
Definitely.
What other under-the-radar companies were generating buzz?
Oklo,
Okay.
a company developing micronuclear reactors,
Interesting.
definitely got some attention. One user even admitted to buying it at the absolute peak of the YTD graph,
Oh, wow.
which just goes to show the power of FOMO,
Right.
or fear of missing out on Wall Street Bets.
It's that classic Wall Street Bets mentality. See a stock soaring and jump on board without necessarily doing the due diligence.
Right.
Did anyone offer any insights into Oklo's business or its potential?
There was a lot of talk about the company's innovative technology
Hmm.
and its potential to disrupt the energy industry,
Okay.
but also concerns about regulatory hurdles
Yeah.
and the long road to commercialization.
It seems like for every exciting new company or technology on Wall Street Bets,
Right.
there's a healthy dose of skepticism and a reminder of the risks involved.
For sure.
Did you notice any other emerging companies or industries that caught the attention of the community?
Celsius Holdings,
Okay.
the energy drink company,
Mm-hmm.
generated some buzz as one user predicted a run before earnings.
Interesting.
It seems that Wall Street Bets isn't just about tech and meme stocks.
Yeah.
They're willing to dip their toes into any sector that has the potential for a quick profit.
That's one thing that's always fascinating about Wall Street Bets.
Yeah.
Their willingness to explore any corner of the market, from the most speculative penny stocks to established industry giants.
Oh, and they do it with a unique blend of humor,
Yeah.
insight,
Yeah.
and a complete disregard for conventional investing wisdom.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the Wall Street Bets daily discussion thread,
Okay.
what are your key takeaways?
So Wall Street Bets is a reflection of the current market sentiment.
Okay.
A chaotic mix of bullish exuberance and underlying anxieties.
Interesting.
They're fascinated by disruptive technologies, skeptical of traditional institutions, and always on the hunt for the next big winner, even if it means taking on outsized risk.
It's like they're constantly balancing on a knife's edge between fear and greed.
Right.
Hoping to ride the wave of market momentum without getting wiped out in the inevitable crash.
And while their methods may be unconventional, their insights are often valuable.
Interesting.
They're not afraid to challenge the status quo, question assumptions, and point out the absurdities of the market.
So should we be taking investment advice from WallStreetBets? Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
But should we be paying attention to what they're saying and thinking?
Absolutely.
Because in the end, WallStreetBets is a microcosm of the modern investor.
Okay.
A blend of hope, fear, speculation, and a relentless desire to make sense of a market that often seems irrational and unpredictable.
It's a reminder that the market is more than just numbers and charts.
Right.
It's driven by human emotions. And WallStreetBets is a fascinating window into those emotions.
Definitely.
As always, it's up to each individual investor to do their own research.
Yeah.
Weigh the risks and rewards, and ultimately decide how they want to play the game.